Konnichiwa. Mama-san dice que tu reinado ha terminado.
Dia tak tahu ke apa sial aku One Piece champion. Musibah ni.
Kenapa kita?
Kenapa? Sayang, kenapa?
Selamat datang dan kembali ke Talk Folks Podcast, guys.
Welcome to Talk Folks Podcast, guys.
Minggu ni minggu yang sangat special.
Minggu ni best.
Best lah.
Best.
So aku pun dah dapat banyak-banyak DM.
Betul.
Hate comments lah. Hate comments
Pasal
Start drama
aku dengar kau pun sekarang banyak kawan-kawan lelaki dah start bingit dengan kau ya. Betul.
Tak adalah.
Banyak dah start diorang dah buat union lah aku dengar.
Union lah.
Macam kau dah spoil market orang lah.
Yes. Tak adalah. Aku nak score cookie points lah orang cakap.
Betul.
Tak ada.
Tapi yelah, sebelum kau cakap lagi kan, aku nak cakap dulu.
Yes.
Tapi apa yang kau buat tu memang pada aku awesome lah.
Ya, aku pun rasa macam itu juga.
Macam
Tapi
apa yang kau buat untuk hari
Aku rasa
jadi tu kan.
macam
Memang pada aku baik lah.
aku rasa macam bapak pengantin kau tu. Pasal aku dah overwhelmed. Dekat dalam group chat tu aku, okay, so
Dah
cerita
kecoh,
dia
dah kecoh.
aku plan birthday party untuk wife aku lah. So kau tahu dah sampai to the point where kau dah tak tahu nak belikan apa. So aku buat WhatsApp group dekat. Okay, the idea is to have a surprise. Okay. Lepas tu aku panggil kawan-kawan dia, buat WhatsApp group. Lepas tu aku cakap dengan dorang, okay, apa yang aku nak belikan dia. So dia cakap, I think at this point macam it's just the whole day activity is better lah. So kebetulan pula memang aku nampak satu orang ni dekat TikTok, and kita memang nak interview dia before aku ada plan nak buat surprise. So there's this guy lah. This guy dia busking and everything. Seram sangat lagu dia.
Lagu tengok kau hantu je sah.
This guy dia busking semua. Aku fikir aku nak interesting pasal aku tengok dia muda, lepas tu bawa busking semua. So aku macam fikir why not aku engage dia lah. So itulah terjadi surprise dia. Aku panggil dia, dia nyanyi. Lepas tu aku nyanyi satu lagu. Lepas tu aku panggil all the friends and family. Just have a good time lah.
Awesome lah.
So sekarang ni, hari ni kita ada the busker himself,
Yeah.
Haris, di dalam studio. Welcome Haris.
What's up Haris?
What's up? Sabar.
Sabar, mic kau belum on.
Okay, what's up Haris?
Assalamualaikum semua.
Waalaikumsalam.
It's an honor to be here.
Thank you lah, Haris.
True honor, I feel.
Terus terang, bila yang kita buat tu, ramai orang happy, including my the family and friends lah. And ada juga member-members cakap, dia ni memang solid, dia ni busking dah lama. Ada members aku pun kenal dia juga and everything. Tapi kita nak tanya daripada tuan diri sendiri, Haris, dah berapa lama sebenarnya kau busking?
Okay, dari segi basking, okay, first and foremost, saya punya Melayu dengan English ada berterabur.
tak kisah.
Kau berbual pasar je betul.
Alright.
No problem.
So basically when it comes to basking actually dari semenjak 2017, that's when I told myself, okay actually the story of how I started is orang dare aku. Member aku cakap, we were at Marina then member aku cakap, kau pergi try lah, kau pergi try basking. I said okay. So I went to try and then I fell in love with it. The rest was history. The next week itself, I signed up for my license, and then before you know it, 2024. And it has always been like a weekly basis kind of thing lah.
So how old when you start
I
off?
started
How old are you?
2017. Now I'm 25.
So that was like
18, 19, 8 years. So almost 18 years old lah when I 18 years old I was performing in the streets.
18 years old basking.
Yeah.
Aku kat 18 years old dekat ni.
Mawar Sultan.
Clarke Quay punya ada hotel atas tu. Ada satu tempat karaoke.
Yalah, betul lah.
Tapi okey lah, tu
Okay
family
lah.
punya.
Family punya.
Fortissimo ke apa dah.
Jangan Ray.
Tak, family punya tu.
Family punya.
Yeah, so that has been my journey for particularly basking. Tapi kalau in terms of music, semenjak I was 7 lah. I was 7, I was just tengok bapak main gitar dengan sarung dia kat rumah, jamming to whatever lah, left-handed ke, your Led
so your
Zeppelin.
family pun main music lah.
My family is more towards the artsy and music side of things.
Baik.
Like uncles have been in bands before, so I grew up to that. Tapi it has never been enforced tau. Macam it has never been like, kau main gitar sampai grade ni grade tu. My father only taught me 3 chords. The rest was YouTube. Pasal kau macam inspired. But the more you put it on a child like, belajar, it might become kena forced to do it. So that's a very different
Benda
thing.
boleh jadi beban tau
Jadi beban. Especially any sense of passion lah. Suruh orang draw, swimming and stuff, let it flow lah to me. So for me it really flow. So from 7 years old, it has been nothing but like Teachers Day performance. Orang tengok kat sekolah, it's always been school performing.
Betul.
Then when I was legal, when I could finally sign up for busking, I told myself this is another ball game. Pasal you meet so many different types of people. Orang dari Singapore, tak Singapore, and that's the beauty of busking, like the people. And for instance, for that, so Alhamdulillah dapat jumpa Hidayat and all that. So it's beautiful lah.
So you have to go macam audition kan?
Yes. So
serious
pasal pakcik-pakcik aku basker juga.
Oh, okay.
So dorang bilang aku lah ada kena audition.
So there's a licensing. You need to do licensing. So for instance, kalau let's say you want to have a permit in Singapore to bus, you actually dulu you need to renew it every year.
Okay.
So to renew every year, you have to go through a workshop, an online workshop, and after that you have to audition. So you will be audition in front of a panel of judge dekat National Library every year tau. So if let's say you pass this year,
Judge siapa? Digli?
Tak.
Betul. Ini dah tengah kecoh sekarang.
Ni National Art Council punya orang. So they will just be a jury. So every year you perform for almost the same people or not lah. Then they see if you're deemed to be suitable to be performing in the streets lah. And I understand lah, diorang tak nak meripik punya and stuff to control certain things. But Alhamdulillah now they managed to change the concept of it, whereby kau dah, let's say senior busker, you have been performing for a while, they will just renew your license for another 2 to 3 years. Then after that 3 years baru kau datang balik lah. Kalau tak every year leceh. Yang kesian memang pakcik-pakcik kat wheelchair lah. Pakcik-pakcik wheelchair perform, kesian bro. Diorang kena pergi National Library lah. Then boleh dengar diorang punya sigh lah. Here again lah, walau. Shake.
Oh ya, so siapa yang ada license? Ya. Dekat Pasir Ris MRT pun ada. Actually all around
And busking ni diorang ada certain tempat je tau yang diorang boleh buat busking. Tak semua tempat.
Okay, so kau from the start kau already bus dekat Marina?
So from the start, when I just started back in 2017, each busker was given 5 designated locations.
Okay.
So aku choose, kalau tak salah time tu aku choose Marina, Wisma Atria, dulu Arab Street depan Kampung Glam pun pernah bus. That was hot as hell lah. Tak boleh, panas nak mampus. Orang tengok makan mi goreng pun macam isya sedap. So I stopped there, but in the end tak boleh. So everyone was given 5 designated location and you can only bus there. But for now they have a National Art Council punya portal. So every busker you log in through your SingPass. Kau nak bus kat mana-mana kat Singapore, kau book aja. Book, you block out that time frame at wherever you want to bus at. That's book for you lah. Orang tak boleh kacau lah.
Okay, sorry Aris kau punya mic dekatkan sikit.
Alright.
Just pull it closer to you.
Yeah, so,
okay, faham.
So that reduces the issues of, let's say dulu without this portal, kau pergi sana habis orang dah bus dekat. Habis macam sialah, dia ni orang nak bus, then dia ni dekat. But if you now that you book already, it's closed off for you you cannot, another person cannot take that side lah.
I see.
Mesti ada
politik kan?
Politik mesti ada.
Ada politik tak?
I stay away from it lah.
Semua benda ada politik.
Dia bahasa dia ni lagi budak-budak muda. Lagi yang basking ni orang tua.
Otai lah.
Dah lancar bro.
Betul lah.
Minta apa-apa je budak-budak muda. Dia ni
kod
mana
tak
tahu.
betul.
Mana tahu dia ni. Padahal dia main bagus.
Betul.
Boleh lah. Aku metal mana pakai gitar mahal.
Aku pakai kapuk.
Ada je. Ada je tak kena.
Pasal it came out on the news. Aku remember there's this one time, tapi aku rasa dekat Orchard area, where aku tak tahu busker dengan macam performer. Kau tahu yang dulu kita kalau pergi macam kita jalan depan Taka Garden ada yang apik dengan beach yang besar-besar.
Dah pass away je apik tu.
Dah tak ada?
Betul.
Oh.
So macam
yang beach tu.
Yes.
Dah tak ada.
Diorang ada
politik
ada altercations lah. Pernah ada hal, tapi aku tak tahu pasal apa. Maybe pasal macam kau cakap dekat sangat ke, macam ni pun some of them do it just for fun. Extra, meaning diorang ada full time job. Some of them itu diorang pay livelihood.
Betul.
So yalah, susah sikit lah. Tapi interesting pasal macam kau cakap it started off from a dare.
Yeah.
So tapi before that kau dah nyanyi lah, macam nyanyi kat rumah sendiri-sendiri.
Definitely lah. Every, like macam kirakan like family punya weddings and stuff, Haris perform lah. So it just became like an adrenaline thing now. It's a freaking drug tau. Like it's, until today I do get butterflies. I've been performing since I was 7. Nak pergi the busking spot ke, performance gig ke, mak besar that time kat Suntec. Seram gila bro. Tapi dah sampai sana, as long as it's my first drum and I sing, dah macam semua dah lupa. Semua dah lupa. And I crave for the connection.
Betul, dia memang macam itu bro. Kalau kau perform, kau tahu apa sekali.
That's the thing. Aku pula tak biasa perform. Aku biasa belakang kamera. So bila dah start Talk Folks ni, barulah aku dapat aku punya first taste of, kau boleh tanya dia, aku punya nervous macam mana. nervous nak mampus. Serious. Even that point of time yang kita punya first event was Iftar Raya. We were supposed to sing one song, lagu raya apa. Dorang datang, ya boleh ya lagu raya, macam tengok handphone lirik aku macam tak boleh dia nak kena rehearsal. But after dah lepas baru macam actually not bad lah. Actually not bad. Then after that live show. Lepas tu bila yang Select Fest recently, yang bila kita naik stage tu aku dah tak rasa apa-apa. Dah macam bila nak naik,
macam tak sabar nak naik stage. Bila nak naik,
naik lah. Okay, naik. So this thing macam kau cakap, it's like a drug, memang betul juga. Pasal dia punya rasa macam satisfying lah.
Sure.
The first time yang kau command the crowd, kau tengok dia punya reaction okay, then you know it's yours really.
It's mine lah.
Yeah,
it becomes
correct.
yours lah.
Dia bila macam the first verse yang kau nyanyi tu, kau tengok crowd appreciate kau kan.
Yes.
That's it.
And the thing is, bila that night yang my wife my birthday, dia bukan just nyanyi, Audrey. Basically dia boleh duduk chill, berbual. So benda tu macam very nice lah. Lepas tu that point of time was F1 week. Then ramai lah turis jalan situ. Then after that orang just duduk. Habis kau tahu ada couple. It was a very nice, and backdrop dia lawas ya.
Ada yang baru state man.
Baru matai.
Matai.
Ada. My basking place dah jadi macam better than Tinder bro. Like ada nampak orang datang sorang-sorang, the next time they come together.
Oh serious ah? Tapi kita nak tarik balik yang kau kalau ingat kau punya first performance ah.
Ada aku nak tanya, kau punya first lagu apa?
Kira kau punya first nak set up, kau punya first day lah kira.
My first day when I was 18.
Ada kokak ke, ada seram ke, macam mana?
I was so scared. Back then in 2017, aku was in a band.
Okay.
I was in a metal band. Kita dari sekolah. Kita all semua budak sekolah. Kita perform kat bars, handlebar, Kontiki, all that. So we were very youngins, tapi kita had the capacity and capability to bawa lagu lama tau.
Okay.
So bila basking tu, I thought I had this platform, and then I let them perform with me lah. So kita macam impromptu lah. Kita bawa macam portable punya mic, portable punya dorang, portable amp, Black Star punya, tapi kita nyanyi lagu Nothing Else Matters semua tapi unplugged acoustic dekat Marina. Tapi tak ngambuk. Orang macam apa sih ni budak-budak, pasal it's a bit more rancak. But when it comes to Marina vibes, it's a little bit more mellow. So I'm bringing songs to the table, for instance like your Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. It's a niche market lah, I would say. Not everyone boleh tangkap. So but that was my first lah. And kita nak perform gig tu, nak perform basking for that first time, dah macam ibarat nak perform for big show tau. Kita sampai kat car park kat atas jamming sendiri-sendiri punya, sampai polis datang complain and stuff like that. It's kecoh, but it was a shout out to, it was a band called Naga lah. It was Naga. Just Dragon lah.
Dah ada Naga.
Dah ada Naga lah.
Betul lah.
Naga.
So kirakan licensing is satu, tapi yang perform boleh ramai.
By right no.
By right,
kira dia je lah.
It's just me. But that time I was so nervous for that one time only lah. They came to support. After that I say cannot risk it lah. Shouldn't do that. It's not allowed. By right, if it's a group performance, every band member has to be licensed.
Okay. Okay, dalam journey ni selalunya ada benda yang baik, ada benda yang baik yang kau akan ingat, ada benda yang macam tak baik sangat yang kau akan ingat lah. Kita start dengan tak baik dulu lah. Ada tak benda yang kau ingat yang macam today is not my day lah, really not my day lah, rabak ni?
Ada rabak, tapi more of like kelakar bro.
Okay, kita dengar.
Yang kau tak boleh lupa.
Tak boleh lupa lah. Ini tak boleh lupa.
Okay.
This was back in 2 years ago. I think 2 to 3 years ago aku basking.
Okay.
Then there was this Indian national.
Okay.
Dia confirm bukan, he's not an Indian Singaporean guy lah. So he came by. Aku lagi nyanyi dah nak habis lah tu that particular song. Then dia taruh bag. Dia taruh this bag, this big bag kat depan aku. Macam sibuk. Macam aku nak betul habiskan. Aku nak habiskan cepat, pasal aku nak check apa dia taruh kan. Bag besar saya.
Okay. Oh dia taruh terus dia caw.
Taruh then just senyum, dia caw.
Danger.
Aku takut saya seram. Cul lah. Then aku cakap dah habis kan. Dah habis aku pause sekejap. Cakap kalau audience give me moment ya.
Aku tahu ni.
So aku ambil tu bag. Then aku buka macam apa ni. So aku tengok it's from a restaurant called Black Tap.
Okay.
Black Tap dekat Marina is the showpiece, ada burger, ada macam milkshake and all that lah. So aku tengok okay lah, dia belikan makanan. Tu tak apa. So aku buka tu makanan, aku nak buka macam okay dia belikan apa ni, aku nak tengok lah. Dah buka Dia punya burger semua nampak gigi punya half eaten punya fry semua dah half eaten. So but here's the thing, aku rasa dia ingat the concept of buskers is macam beggars. They in need of help. So but it's not in our country. It's not like that lah. So aku pun maybe niat dia
That time
baik
dah ada
lah.
fairy light semua lah.
Dah
Dah ada fairy light, takkan beggars.
Betul apa? Dia alah susah lah orang gini
Betul lah.
Aku dah ingat apa tau. Dah bag tu buka Swaking Robert botol kata wah
Betul
kan.
lah.
Cakap budak basket nak kena lu.
Betul.
Kan buka gitu terkejut kan. Kali dia kasih burger setengah
King
musibah.
Robert lagi okey lah.
Betul.
Daripada burger setengah.
Burger setengah.
Siap.
Tergures hati.
Tapi betul aku rasa macam tapi dia okay macam nak cakap dia ada, aku rasa different type of buskers lah.
For sure.
If I can say it. Pasal ada yang macam busking dekat MRT station, dorang dah macam lagi towards the older ones.
Correct.
Dorang akan letak kat situ macam yang part contribution ni, it's like dia tengah nak ni ataupun I am kirakan not capable to work apa-apa ni je yang aku boleh buat. So itu maybe yes, memang aku tak cakap beggars, tapi memang itu yang dorang
Tu punca rezeki orang lah.
Yes.
correct.
Yes, yeah.
Tapi untuk Haris, the setup is very nice and everything. Dia letak dia punya Instagram handle, dia letak dia punya tu, dia tak nampak macam ni lah, macam beggars or whatever. But then aku nak tanya kau, kau tak payah disclose pun tak apa, tapi kita pun curious. As busker kan, boleh buat duit tak?
Yes.
Pasal
okay.
semua orang nak tahu benda ni.
So, for instance, we know of I personally know of individuals that do this full time.
Okay.
You know. So with that being said, I think it's a different type of hustle lah. For me personally, before I get in touch of how much you know on good days or bad days or what's the range in terms of getting, for me, and I speak for myself only, when it comes to music or for instance passion, susah aku macam nak put it in a way where aku want to do this. Aku sing because I really love, is my passion.
Faham.
So kalau aku when passion is combined with monetary aspects and per se the hustle, the essence of passions boleh
Dah jadi kerja lah.
Dah jadi kerja.
Because
Yes.
another 8 to 5. So aku
Correct.
paling takut tu. That's why when I bus, aku macam aku ada feel lah. Aku ada ni tak? Aku ada, if aku tak ada feel nak buat, jangan buat. Pasal
Okay.
nanti dia punya, kirakan dia punya nawai tu dah lain.
Betul,
Pasal
betul.
kau nak duit punya pasal. So and that once I've experienced that made me had this concept was, I remember vividly, I think back in 2020 ke 2019, it was a Prudential Carnival. Daerah situ dia punya kat belakang
Kat
tu
Marina
Marina.
Okay.
Prudential Carnival.
Okay.
And that particular day, I got some news from my friends that it was a closed event. So aku rasa orang-orang suit and tie punya tau masuk.
Okay, okay.
Suit and tie. So it's a closed desk event for, I would say, for their orang-dorang lah. For their own people that work there. So as they came out, I see a lot of suit and tie. So I'm like, oh damn. Okay lah kan. Tengok rezeki. So I remember that bro, I play for 1 hour. In that 1 hour, aku check balik. Then aku take a break. Usually I have a 1 hour set, then aku macam 10 minute break, then aku 1 hour balik. In that 10 minute bila aku check,
Kira sikit lah, kira.
Kira sikit lah. So that 1 hour aku check, aku earn 685
In that 1 hour.
in that 1 hour.
Wow.
685. So that was like mashallah rezeki.
Yeah.
But then prior to that, the next week I perform macam like, bila aku tengok tak dekat 200 pun. And that's when it shifts. So that's like,
okay.
then tengok then from there I told myself I can never do that. Apa yang aku dapat is apa yang aku dapat. It's just a bonus rezeki. My due diligence to perform is to connect with people.
Betul.
So that's all there is to it. But the range I would say is around there. Like on good days, I've heard of people pun dapat 800, 900. But on to be very frank, an average day, you for an hour of playing you get 100 plus. What
what?
job bro is
What-
your
okay what?
is a blessing tau.
Yalah.
It's a bloody blessing. People ada yang an hour you need to get $15 per
Betul.
hour, this and that. So
Yes.
more than anything, I am humbled lah.
Betul.
I'm so humbled. So that's why I said itu. I always emphasize to people that support me. This is secondary, but to have your listening ear is everything to me.
Betul.
For
So
me lah.
aku pun nak touch on ni benda sikit. Pasal macam since ni pun tentang kita kan. So foto dengan video pun sama. It started off as a passion.
Yeah.
And then after that, aku one of the kirakan lucky ones, aku sampai sekarang grateful that I can turn my passion into a living lah, make a living. But then, of course, kadang-kadang bila dah passion ni, bila there's money involved, dia akan jadi macam kerja. Nanti kadang-kadang kau tak ikhlas. But macam dia macam mana tau, macam dia ni bayar, ni client A bayar this amount, aku akan give this kind of effort. Tapi kalau this client bayar a big amount, aku akan kasih ni, which is actually wrong. Tapi you sort of like need to go through that process. Dah sampai to a stage whereby okay, this is wrong. Berapa pun orang bayar, kalau kau rasa kau nak buat, if you accept that job, then kau buat 100% lah. Macam gitu.
But aku pun feel that kalau orang macam rasa macam mak dia kasih aku gini je, dia ada niat macam gitu pasal apa? That's the only way untuk dia cari rezeki.
100%.
Yeah, kalau
Tu pasal diorang dah start macam itu. Because kalau diorang tak dapat cukup, how are they gonna feed the family?
Yeah,
Ni kan
correct.
ada macam itu lah.
Betul lah.
Kalau kau macam dah ada memang ini kau punya passion, kau tak kira duit, kau ada source of income kau from another thing that you do, then kau mesti okay, janji aku enjoy. Mesti macam itu.
Dia sama juga macam kita buat podcast Dre. Ni paling, kira example paling dekat lah. Macam kita selalu cakap, bila kita dapat DM yang orang cakap thanks lah Talk Folks, korang peneman aku bila aku tengah rabak gini semua. Itu benda lagi mahal daripada gaji-gaji yang kita dapat kan.
Betul.
Macam it's very special lah.
Puas hati lah.
Puas hati siya.
It's a whole another feeling For someone to come up to you and shake your hand, bro, you don't know the depths of what you've actually cost.
Yeah.
Some more is from a stranger. Orang kau tak kenal.
Yes. Yang paling kira eye opener untuk kita sebagai Talk Folks Select Fest lah bro. Ramai orang yang kita macam, and pasal dorang dah dengar suara kita tak pernah dengar suara dorang, kita tak pernah nampak muka dorang. Pada dorang dah jadi members kita. So macam macam peluk macam gila babi sah. So
it's
special
real,
lah.
it's surreal.
Yeah, that's why. Tapi aku nak tanya kau, kau ada full time job kan?
Yes.
Okay, so macam mana kau bagikan, you do this every week?
Correct. For the most part,
Weekends,
for the most part, Fridays and Saturdays.
Fridays.
Sundays,
Okay.
every
Relax
day,
lah,
relax
Yeah,
and santai
yeah,
kan.
correct,
So Friday and Saturday lepas kerja, Friday consider that excited lah, because that whole period of I work 5 days a week. So that whole period where maybe you stress kerja or whatever you got going on in life, this is my remedy.
Yeah,
Per se my vice. So
correct.
the same thing, maybe for instance, they all have this podcast, whatever you got going on here,
Yes, bro.
you talk.
Kita looking forward every time nak recording.
Ni
That's
kita
why-
punya escape
Correct,
lah.
it's the escape, bro.
Yes.
So like just to look forward to that Friday and Saturday is something that I can relate to y'all. Like when I hear your voices, even bila aku kerja, bro, like to dengar korang, and to an extent when I started hearing y'all, like it's not even from YouTube tau. It's like even from common folks than y'all. At first tak tahu siapa Dre, tak tahu siapa Yat, tak Acap siapa siya. You know, Ali siapa, but then it becomes characters, you know. You actually become characters. So it's something that I relate when it comes to basking as well. Like orang yang aku tak tahu come up, and then it's like, sialah, it's an impact, you know. And that's something money cannot buy.
Yes.
Sorry to say, F the money.
Yeah, correct,
Really
correct.
F the money. And then if rezeki comes, you are genuine with whatever you're doing, your craft. And I'm singing not because I enjoy singing, I want to get money. I'm singing because I want to connect with you.
Yeah.
Sampai really bro, like you see macam marip-marip, ada yang bertattoo and stuff, really face tattoo. Diorang nangis, girlfriend patting their back, no. And that is my kind of thing, macam like, that's the impact I've caused. And I don't mean to sound like a sadistic motherfucker, but it's like, aku dapat move someone like that. That's something money cannot
Tapi
buy.
memang diorang ada cengeng
Ada yang kepada mak Rip yang nangis tu, yang girlfriend kau dah pack up bag, kau DM kita.
Kau DM kita bro.
DM.
Kita boleh chill-chill,
Aku nak bawa
buat-buat.
kau masuk. Ada. Betul lah.
Betul,
Gangster
semua orang
gangster
ada
juga.
perasaan.
Betul.
Touching. It's
Tapi
so
actually bila kau tengok orang tu ganas kan,
Yes.
dia ni punya figura orang macam ni ganas bro. Actually diorang pun taman bro.
To be honest dengan korang semua, yang korang tengok yang abang-abang kita yang tattoo-tattoo, semua ada perasaan.
Yes.
Betul. Kau try nyanyi yang ada tattoo-tattoo. Aku nyanyi lagu Ratuku nangis lah.
Ada. And
Betul.
sorry, just to touch basis, so before I answer this question, just now you inquired about something that I cannot forget.
Yeah.
Just now.
If you don't mind, I share
Boleh.
one thing.
Can.
That one thing, this one is damn sedih lah.
Okay.
Is one thing that there's only two people that I serenade when it comes to my basking list. One is an individual that I used to work for in my workplace. I used to work in a destitute home. So someone that got close to me.
Okay.
But this another person that I want to share with you all is that I always dedicate to this brother named Zahid.
Okay.
He's a brother. His name is Zahid. So back then, he and his then wife, will come to my show. They only came 2 times, but they will come sit very near me, and then they will always ask for the request for the same song, All I Want by Kodaline.
Oh, really?
All I Want. So All I Want is, I'm sure you know the backstory lah, which is
Yeah.
don't leave me, this and that, you know, all that lah. Sedih lah. But so they always request for this song. So they came maybe 1 or 2 times, and then Alhamdulillah I saw on social media they got married eventually. So they got married, and then the week after they got married, he was sending her to work.
Okay.
Accident, and she flew.
Alamak.
It was a TPE accident. Dia sampai kena ban from riding for 8 years. It was a whole hoo-ha. He was banned from 8 years even though it wasn't his fault. And then the wife dia, pasal it was first lane, the van was on first lane even though van's not supposed to be in first lane. Switched to second, he didn't have time to brake, and his wife unfortunately melayang lah.
Masya Allah.
And then when I will never sing that song the same way again, bro. I don't know how to explain to you, but for someone, 2 individuals to keep requesting that song, and then when I sing that song again, you know, all I want is nothing more, which is to have her and then not have them around anymore.
Aku tahu saya lirik lagu dia.
Yeah, exactly. So to have the wife not anymore, he will never hear the song the same way again. And for me to sing that song personally is I cannot, like aku will nampak dua-dua orang. So my prayers are always for my brother Zahid. And
Are you still in contact with him?
yeah, for sure. Time to time, he's doing his own thing now. But the paling susah, I remember when kita visit dia kat ICU tu and bila dia baru bangun and to tell him dah tak ada, bro. Dah tak ada. And but bro, he was the strongest guy. Dia just gini.
Wow.
Okay. Itu yang rabak. Itu yang bikin lagi. So we didn't see. I personally didn't see one tear shed from him. Just okay. And the crazy thing, before they got married, bro, 1 week before that, he lost his father. After he got married or something. Then the day after the father passed away, then 1 week after they got married, hilang isteri dia. So
Masya Allah.
Masya Allah lah. So I will say I'll never forget that
So
instance.
they started off as strangers.
They started off they were friends from budak-budak motor. I don't ride, but I have many friends bought budak supermoto scrambler boys
So kira kan friend of friend
friends
lah.
friends of friends. Then got close. Nampak dorang main stunt and dekat events and stuff. Got close, and then they came as couples together. You know, and then eventually that happened lah. So it's something that cannot sing the same way again, bro. I don't know how to tell you, but that's why when it comes to my craft, aku macam there is a very far line between orang yang aku suka nyanyi and aku sing for my life, bro. I'm singing on my. That's why you hear the emotion, you hear every. Kau boleh suruh aku nyanyi Ed Sheeran lah, perfect, action perfect, tapi penat lah. Aku tak boleh, pasal aku takut I don't do justice to the song. I want something that I'm able to relate. So I'm always the worst at request. Aku bilang all my people that listen to me. But when it's a song that I can relate, bro, insyaAllah I can connect. So yeah, that is one.
Kita doakan Brother Zahid.
Kita doakan Brother Zahid
and
semoga terus kuat lah. Al-Fatihah
to
tu arwah.
late arwah Yasmin. Very full of Yasmin.
Aku rasa kalau video ni keluar Riz, kalau you guys nampak, hopefully lah yang Brother Zahid kita ni terus kuat. Pasal memang kirakan dalam masa kita jalankan amanah kita, sama juga dengan macam Haris Basking kita podcast, kadang-kadang kita ada terjumpa profil-profil ni yang akan leave impact yang mendalam lah dekat kita. So this is one of the beautiful thing yang Alhamdulillah kita diberikan rezeki untuk buat ni.
Betul.
Lepas tu kita jumpa orang-orang macam ni. Dia apa tahu, kalau kau tak buat ni kau tak susah.
Maybe tak jumpa pun.
Tak jumpa.
For sure.
So tadi kau ada mention yang kau kerja dekat homes kan?
Yes.
Tu homes apa tu?
So okay, I cannot really disclose
Okay,
per
boleh.
se. I cannot disclose 2 things. I cannot disclose the residents, their names, features and stuff, and neither the home lah. But where I was working once at prior NS means aku habis NS when I was 20 or 21. I entered this organisation and I entered as a welfare officer.
Okay.
So the job title was personal care officer. Pasal prior to NS, I did an advanced diploma in psychology. So aku wanted to work in a sense more of like people orientated social work, per se kerja kebajikan lah. Cakap gitu. It's more people. Because I come from a family of teachers also.
Okay.
Tapi
Oh,
aku
okay,
aku
okay,
rabak
okay.
bro. Like education and stuff is just really not
So
my
kau,
thing
kau
lah.
boleh jadi counselor jugalah. Counselor.
In the line of that can lah. Kalau if
Macam
I-
untuk macam orang untuk orang macam problematik lah.
Correct.
Kau pergi
Alip-
counsel dia mah.
Alip Brown
Yeah.
lah.
Nanti kau datang ada satu kat Jerman.
Satu kat dia
Dia
ni problem.
sampai sekarang kita nak try to do something.
Lip,
tapi
kalau
belum
dengar
ada
Lip, InsyaAllah kita ada lah
kita ada Lip, orang untuk boleh counsel kau.
Berubat
Berubat Lip.
bukan sengkak
Bukan Segak
Dia kat Jerman pun ada. Dia try.
So yeah, I was working in a destitute home. So backstory, it is actually fun fact. I think some of us might know. It is a crime to be homeless in Singapore.
Okay, yeah,
You
correct.
cannot be homeless. So that's why every time I would explain to the foreigners when I bus and stuff. It is rare in our country because when let's say per se an auxiliary police or police sees someone that is not per se in the streets, they will screen, and if it's not attached to any address, they will send them to institutes. So
yes.
one of the first few institutes that they will straight away bring these homeless individuals per se, like to say as a shelter, is dekat Buangkok, is Angsana Home.
Okay.
Ada kat
I see.
sebelah IMH.
Oh,
So
okay.
kirakan kau tak ada rumah and stuff, that's the intake center.
Okay.
Orang taruh kat sana. Then from Angsana, the ministry will then decide and they will deem where you are suitable to be placed all around which home in Singapore.
At least diorang ada shelter lah.
Shelter.
Kira angsana tu macam pending lah.
Yeah.
Pending lah tempat pending lah.
Intake center. Then they will put whatever lah. So I was working in one of these institutes and I was a welfare officer lah, or the job title was called PCO, Personal Care Officer.
Okay.
So I thought it was just jaga orang tua. Orang tua biasa macam jaga nenek, jaga my arwah atuk, all that. But actually it's more than that. These residents have maybe they have certain disabilities, they have been through long-term prison sentences, dah keluar, maybe tak ada anak-anak. So they have to go inside these institutes and we care for them lah.
Okay.
So yeah. So I was working there for 2 years and it is something that money cannot buy lah, because the experience over there and furthermore, the things that you learn from otai-otai, the stories that you hear, bro, it's so sad but it's so beautiful tau. Like things that you can never be able to get. And
Okay.
I hold it very close to my heart lah. So I remember, like I say, first time I kerja dekat situ, I thought I was just going to take care of orang tua. But during the interview, I was the youngest in the organisation, bro.
Okay.
And it was my first job. So
So,
first job,
banyak dah berhenti lah.
banyak dah berhenti. Banyak yang nak kerja berniat kat sana pun 1-2 hari dah tak boleh tahan.
Oh, serious eh?
I went there and my interview, my superintendent tell me 2 things they tell me. He say, because she asked me what prior experience do I have of taking care of people. Ma'am, just jaga nenek lah. And then she stared at me and said one thing. Aris ingat, jaga orang tua sendiri dan jaga orang tua orang lain-lain I said okay. I said okay lah. Tak pasal lah kira-kira. Apa nak takut orang tua je.
Belum tahu lagi. Belum jumpa.
Dalam dia punya superintendent punya dia ni fresh lagi.
Fresh.
Time dia tengah cakap dulu,
masih semangat lagi.
Dia tengah cakap okay lah, no problem. Belakang superintendent dia actually semua tengah tengok tau. Yang stop boleh. Dia ni kena ni.
standby,
Ni kejap lagi kena ni.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's very true. So then she said that one thing, and then the second thing she said was the home will choose you. You don't choose the home.
Ooh.
So in a sense, there are banyak instances where orang jaga tak boleh tahan. 1 week, let's say nak jaga pun, suddenly something's happen at home. They have to come out. But alhamdulillah, I stick out through my service for 2 years because it was a contract basis.
Okay.
So it was fulfilling lah. I remember first day I really thought like orang tua, jom kita buat aktiviti sama-sama type of shit. Padahal so the first day I remembered I was my mentor. So it was a 1 week attachment with my mentor. You try to learn all 128 residents over there.
Wow.
Paling susah is the nama lah.
Okay.
It takes a while to really know every Karina character and all that, because everyone is different. Like I
Kalau
say lah,
pakcik Melayu kau panggil wak je.
Wak,
Orang okay.
Wak. And then kalau nenek kat sana mak betul.
Oh,
mak,
okay.
mak macam dah.
Pasal diorang pun akan panggil kau boy pun.
Correct.
Wak macam boy.
But that's very true. That's very true, bro. Tapi to get them to suddenly switch and try to call you sir and all that, that is the kirakan the responsibility that you have to have for them to earn your respect. And it's not easy to earn your respect. You
Yalah,
need to,
yalah,
it's
betul
a
lah.
whole game, bro.
Ya,
Aku
ya.
datang sana, aku shock pasal the first day dia cakap, mentor aku cakap, okay Riz, kalau kau boleh pergi kat ni resident and take note, this resident is the biggest gangster of the home lah.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Monday.
know. Dia cakap ni gang paling besar punya.
Okay.
Dia hitman lah. So cakap
Tapi kau tak tahu that point
tak tahu.
Okay.
Aku cakap tak pasal lah siapa yang aku takut siapa orang tu.
Yelah.
Aku cakap kalau kau boleh suruh dia swab, because that one was time COVID. So
Okay.
kesian lah, every one of them had to swab. And aku cakap swab bukan ART punya PCR everyday cocok masuk Kita sampai kena whole cocok bopian ministry punya home.
Yes.
So I say okay, tak pasal. I went there, aku pergi dorm 13 something lah. Level 1. So, level 3 semua perempuan. So level 1 aku dah masuk. Cakap, cik, jom ikut saya, kita nak buat swab test pasal COVID. Dia lagi gini, dia baring bersila lagi gini, like baring gini. Dia tengok aku kat kanan dia, tengok aku gini. Kau budak baru kan? Sorry maaf kata kasar bahasa ni.
Tak apa.
Kau budak baru kan? Puki kau pemak ah. Aku just bro, aku stun.
Kau suruh show awak selarang. Habis lah.
Betul.
Aku stun bro. Aku cakap bro, I have never allowed no man to disrespect me, let alone my mother like that.
Dia kira steady
Aku jalan, aku keluar macam bodek tau. Dia keluar macam orang maki mak aku tak boleh buat apa. So that's the first taste of kesabaran lah. The first taste. First day. So aku macam is this what the hell did I sign up for? Aku jalan, aku bilang mentor tak boleh bro, lunch kau simpan aja.
Dia betul test kau.
Test. So then before you know it, so then you had to learn the ropes lah. Macam mana ni nak get through him.
Kau nak kena go down to the level lah kira kan.
Go down to that level is one thing, but go down too low, they will step on you.
Betul.
You take power, you take so many things. So far, kalau aku jalan over there, rokok is king. Dia semua isap BD. Semua isap BD. Yang dah tak boleh bernafas gitu pun semua lagi nyala.
Janji ada asap.
Janji ada asap pun. Janji. Ada yang dah
Tapi
stroke.
by right kat dalam tak isap?
Boleh.
Boleh.
There's time frame.
Diorang ada.
There is
boleh
macam time frame to isap rokok. 3 times a day kau boleh isap rokok.
Okay.
So it's contraband for them to hold lighter and hold their own rokok. Kita officer turun kat courtyard, bagi nyala. Kita simpan lighter.
Ibu ni dah macam kat tekung saya aku.
Kesian tau.
Tekung macam tu.
Tak isap rokok kami. Officer datang. Your cigarette. Isap rokok.
Tapi mesti ada contraband
Of course lah. That's when
Tanam lah.
That's when the
tanam.
beauty of dom check happen. So aku pun macam bad cop good cop lah. Macam bila dom check, aku cakap dom check, nanti nampak serabut 100 100 plus ni lari simpan tu. Tapi there are days where it's really hard dom check. So cigarette is king over there. So for that particular resident, macam mana ni, aku tahu dia isap rokok banyak lah. So on that day aku tak beli BD bro. Aku beli Winston Red. So kalau
mahal ni kau beli
kalau cigarette is mahal, but BD and cigarette price is crazy difference.
Betul, bro.
And BD punya bau is very prominent.
Yes,
It's so prominent, you know. So bila dorang nampak cigarette, and then it's like, not say give but it's like, okay ni aku officer baru, you've been doing well. Instead of smoking your cigarette that they buy with their own money, because they can earn money in the home. That is working schemes lah. Kau macam sapu-sapu kau dapat macam one day macam $5.
Okay lah
Kita ada HES scheme, home scheme, and DRS. DRS is those that ada mental capacity, dorang boleh kerja dekat Saffron. Kerja Saffron, kerja mana-mana, nanti patah balik tidur lah. So for this particular resident, dia tak boleh. Dia tak kerja family, so don't really come. Salah aku beli Winston Red lah. So dah queue up semua, aku bagi. Nah, I'm Haris, new officer. Okay, sir, thank you. Aku tengok dia, aku jalan.
Kau tak kasi.
Tak kasi. Tu lah, kau nak main gila aku kan. Tapi it's a mental thing lah. So mental torture semua macam nikmat tau. So kat courtyard
Kau bingit.
dia pun dah first day gitu lah. But I kept doing it. Aku tak layan dia for any request. So it was even more than that. I show him that you work with me, I no problem one. I steady. But if you don't want to work with me, it's not that I will be mean to you, but you don't get my privileges that I can do. Okay. So dah gitu, so after 2 weeks lah bro. 2 weeks dia approach aku, Riz, dah bagi tau. Dia datang kat aku, Riz, nak minta maaf lah. Kalau tengok dia rokok punya pasal lah kena minta maaf.
Dia actually approach kau
minta maaf.
Bro, mana boleh tahan bro.
Tapi benda ni macam mana nak cakap kau nak kena pandai learn the ropes tau.
Itu pasal dia kerja situ.
Yes.
You need to learn the ropes is one thing bro. But for me, my game plan was the most beautiful game plan that alhamdulillah I managed to go through, which was I try to recognize who are all of the alphas in every dorm. Once you get the trust of macam orang dorang, and when they stand up for you when anything happens, you got the trust of everyone. When the alphas are okay steady dengan kau, ada macam the best feeling is bila resident disrespect kau dekat hall, and then their own people will, kau jangan main gila dengan dia.
Yalah.
Then that's when you know, that's when the respect comes.
Kira dom memang dek lah.
Betul. So kira kan, tapi that's the thing, apa yang dia buat ni, it's a macam it's well thought of. Pasal kalau tidak, Dre, benda ni boleh backfire.
Betul.
Dia antara dorang suka dia, dorang respect dia, ataupun dorang terus benci dia. Dia ni kira betul tak ada apa-apa. So kira kan the way nak steer tu, it's not for everyone. This job is not for
Dia
everyone.
pun bijak juga.
Betul.
It's a double-edged sword lah.
Betul.
Betul.
Because the fear is also there. As much as orang tua, bila kau dom check, kau boleh find things for them to protect themselves and
Oh
stuff.
serius dekat dalam ada gaduh?
Bro, the gaduh is like it's like things that you have never imagined. It's more slow motion. I would say. Dia macam
Tapi
more slow
sampai jugalah.
Sampai
juga.
macam berdarah ada.
serious
berdarah, kicap lah.
Awak ada kecoh.
Kicap, awak kecoh. And you can see shanks they will make.
Oh serius
Because that's why. Because especially kalau orang yang keluar untuk kerja, bila patah balik kita betul check. Kita takut apa-apa diorang bawa dalam. So we see all these things lah, and it gets violent. It's a dormitory setting, so you're bound to have conflicts.
Betul lah.
Ada, let alone orang-orang dementia. Ada nenek-nenek dekat atas. Ada yang schizophrenia. Like nampak orang and stuff like that. And then start pukul 2-3 pagi pekik-pekik. Habis dia punya member nak tidur, slipper pun melayang kat dia.
Yalah,
Habis nanti
lah.
dapat nurse, officer fight.
Orang bingit ya.
Nenek tau fight.
Kata nenek tidur, kalau 2-3 pagi diorang deep sleep.
Betul.
Dia ni pula satu. Mana boleh tahan Syul? Si Timah tak boleh tahan.
Betul. Puki mak kau
Baru benda gitu. Musibot, aku nak tidur. Terus limpah tau.
Tapi slow mo. Ada cakap slow mo.
Dia limpah pun, dia punya slipper sampai slow mo. Pelan.
Sial lah.
Very very interesting ah. Macam Pokemon lah. Aku selalu tengok diorang semua have their own strengths, have their kelemahan. We also have ours, but
Ni banyak Snorlax ni.
banyak.
Satu ni.
Sial, interesting je.
Yeah, so it's an all-rounder thing. Ada a lot of things that you learn, a lot of sad. Like betul kalau it comes to
Okay,
this,
ada cerita sedih.
I can go on lah bro. I can go on and on lah.
Tadi dah sedih.
Boleh 3 episod aku rasa.
Dia kelakar
Boleh
ada
lah.
dia
Boleh,
punya
Boleh.
It's so sad sampai it's because dari luar kau nampak macam home biasa lah.
Okay.
Old folks home.
Okay.
Kau masuk, kau kerja, and you know the depth of their story. Kita kalau masuk, kita 3 month probation tak boleh buka diorang punya file.
Okay.
Pasal kalau kau baca diorang punya file and kau tahu what have they been through, there might be a conflict of interest. Kau nak marah diorang pun tak boleh
sampai
pasal kau
hati,
tak sampai hati.
Oh, so it's the rule kau tak
Rule
boleh
of
baca.
thumb, kau tak boleh baca.
Pasal apa, nanti bila kau dah tahu dia ni kat luar dia melam macam anak dia buat dia gini-gini.
Kau kesian lah.
Tapi dia buat salah, kau tend to macam tak apa lah,
sayang
kasi
dia
muka
lah.
Kau faham tak?
It's good to know siap. Okay. Tapi lepas kau kerja sana 2 tahun kan.
Yeah.
Lepas 2 tahun kau mesti emotionally attached apa. Kau manusia siap.
Kau mesti ada satu wak yang kau favourite.
Ataupun satu
dah anggap
nenek.
macam bapak, dah anggap macam mak kan.
Sekali yang paling degil
Ada chance saya paling
The
degil tu.
paling degil is not, but the paling degil when I left the organisation, no one could control him, and he had to leave to a more guarded area.
Alamak. Kira kan cuma kau boleh control dia.
Yes, I was one of the few. I don't want to say that I'm
Yalah,
alone,
betul
but
lah.
there were instances where macam imagine aku clock out kerja afternoon shift 10:30 aku balik habis yang paling kesian female officers lah.
Okay.
Pasal dia, bro, they will study you know, these residents. Diorang dementia tapi diorang tahu kau kerja apa shift.
Ya, correct.
Sir, tomorrow night shift ah. Kau macam kena tahu siapa kau dementia ke
Aku
tak
rasa
dementia
pasal
ni.
diorang hari-hari kat situ.
Diorang study.
Tak ada benda nak buat
Yes,
apa.
they study.
Macam kata budak-budak kat dalam. Kan? Kau tengok diorang mana ada time.
Betul.
Diorang boleh tahu kau berapa macam tu lah.
Diorang hafal semua. Okay, Monday to Friday makan apa. Tu diorang hafal. Habis lepas tu warden pakai perfume apa pun diorang tahu. Ke macam shift mana diorang tahu. Pasal dekat situ itu information je diorang ada.
Correct.
Jadi senang lah nak ni.
Correct.
Tapi bila kau think about it it's actually very sad.
It's sad.
Pasal macam yang macam to know that lepas kau leave that place, dia ni dah tak ada orang boleh control. Bermakna there must be some certain of respect yang bila kau ada kat situ dia tak langgar any line.
Aku tough love dengan dia. Betul punya tough love yang maki mak.
Yang what degil tu.
What degil. Ui, tough love gila saya. So dan aku cakap aku knock off 10:30. Bila dia tahu female officer dia buat kecoh 2 pagi. Itu kakak officer call aku cakap, Aris cannot control. Dia dah banging on the isolation punya door sampai resident luar situ complain polis like kita tak jaga.
Resident luar daripada tempat tu.
Luar of the home residential area complaining there are sounds coming from. Can you please check? So aku turun lah. Aku turun bro. Aku maki.
Ya nak kena kasih.
Yalah nak kena.
Maki. Tapi aku realise at that point bila aku turun maki dia. But because you cannot love everyone the same tau. Aku kalau aku nak buat dia punya cara nak sayang dia the same way aku sayang mak mampus lah.
Betul lah.
So I have to go there, show him who is in charge. But I realise at that point is fire and fire. Tak ke mana punya.
Okay.
So I stood down to another level. Aku play around and then I started to macam per se guilt lah. Aku cakap dengan dia macam very soft tone. I hope you know that even kau punya family tak nak jaga kau, tapi aku ni yang paling kecil kat this organisation nak sayang kau macam gini. Tapi kau masih nak disrespect aku gitu. Then you see the
Dia sejuk lah.
Dan dia cakap, siapa sia yang kau tak ada duit cukup, aku yang belikan prata sia. Macam aku bring up everything lah. Kakak kau sendiri yang tak nak beli apa-apa. Aku sial yang ada. Like betul pekik tau. Tapi aku sendiri pun macam feel it. Dan dia pun feel it lah. So that's how it is lah when it comes to tough love lah.
Mana dah jaga dia dah tak ada. Siapa nak kasih Winston merah Syul? Tak ada.
So it's really the conversations and then like you say the emotional attachment. Bro, bila aku angkat kaki jalan from the organisation, aku tak boleh cakap kat siapa-siapa saya. Macam I cannot even tell one resident I had to just go. I never even say last day. It hurts me.
So kau tahu you are leaving but for them
none of them know. The staff know lah.
Kira kau punya last shift tu kau throw pack kau caw lah.
I cannot look back.
takut orang buat perangai lah.
But the organisation gave me one thing that I'm so blessed with until today, which was bila aku gerak angkat kaki dari tu organisation, they gave me a gift.
Okay.
And that gift was backstory. The closest resident that I am close to is this individual. He's 58, almost 60 years old. He has been in the system since 1987.
Okay, wow.
Time aku beranak saya tu
1987 he was a teenager when he was found somewhere lah.
Serious
He was found, and then we took him in, cared for him and then I built rapport with him. So side to take note, he is autistic and he's Down syndrome.
Okay.
So dia tak boleh berbual.
okay.
Dia tak boleh berbual. Tapi I always had a connection with him. And how I connected with him, pasal dia suka dua benda je. Dia suka tengok bujang lapuk dan dia suka WWE.
Okay.
So bila baru start dia gini tau.
Wrestling lah
dia
kira.
punya gini mesti nak tengok. Tapi dia pun nakal juga. Tengok wrestling nak tengok yang perempuannya je.
Okay.
Nakal, cute lah. Dia cute gini. Tapi kalau nak bujang lapuk, nanti dia cakap Melayu. Melayu. So the words are very hard. Is Melayu or gini or abang gemuk. Dulu aku very very fat. So it's like abang gemuk. Then like makan. That kind of things lah. So I built a rapport with him. And then eventually I got super super close with him. Macam dia punya ways of showing dia punya love is pelik bro.
Okay.
Dapat kat CCTV, nanti dia panjat on my car. Nanti baring kat kereta aku.
Susah datang tau Dre. Banyak belanja siap.
Dekat dia gini oh. Nasib dia relax. Aku yang paling geram bila aku tengok balik CCTV, dia punya kaki gini bro. Kaki dia gini. Kau nasib baik aku sayang je. Aku datang kat dia, aku tarik dia macam no, cannot. Kalau gitu tangkap. Dia kalau nampak gini, dia
faham.
Dia fall back lah. Dia cute lah. Dia gini fall back. So but what the organisation gave me when I left is because they know I built such a rapport with him, is that I became his guardian. So he's next of kin. Until today I visit him. Until today I bring him home for raya.
Wow.
Power lah.
So
solid
until
bro.
every year aku bawa dia balik to see my family. Pasal dia tak
Tapi
pernah,
dia tak ada next of kin.
tak ada. Zero.
Wow.
So they give like Haris, because you've taken care of him per se well or to the best of your abilities, we want you to be his guardian.
Life kau interesting gila
So then after that I brought him home. So I remember bringing home for raya and stuff is beautiful lah bro.
Then family kau semua kenal dia sekarang.
Kenal lah. And
How okay, sorry, kau left this organisation bila?
aku
year?
masuk, aku RD 2020 2022 atau 2023.
So dah dua raya gitu dia dengan family
Dah with me all the time.
Interesting.
So kau bawa balik dia macam one day gitu lah.
Ada diorang ada cakap suruh dia tidur cakap tidur rabak tidur susah.
Ya.
Pasal dia punya habit rabak. Dia suka ambil sampah. Banyak habit Karina dia suka ambil sampah. He will climb out of the vicinity.
Okay.
Ambil sampah dari green
Luar.
luar bawa masuk dalam, taruh kat bawah katil dia.
Aduh.
Pening.
Pening. Macam yalah habit ke apa
Habit.
lah.
Habis ada macam previously macam a year or two ago, social worker tiba-tiba aku kerja. Aku dah leave organisation called A. Dia dah tak tahu ada apa Karina. Dia time subuh dia pergi keluar. Dia pergi curi. Dia bukan curi. Dia pukul 5 pagi bila stok baru datang. Ayam pasal it's from a restaurant. Ayam cold meal baru datang. Van baru taruh. Dia ambil tu ayam. Dia buang kat sampah. So restoran punya owner cakap, kenapa ayam aku hari-hari tak ada? Dia buang kat sampah pun. So aku kena pergi sana. Aku bawa dia kat tu restoran. Aku bagi dia makan tu ayam yang dia buang macam ayam penyet diorang buat sedap. Cakap kau nak buang ni ayam penyet diorang buat sedap-sedap kau nak buang ni. Dan aku buat gini-gini lah. You one more time you do. Tangkap aku tangkap. Dan gini. Then aku ke restoran
Aku rasa dia boring lah.
Dia boring lah. Boring gila.
Interesting Syah.
Boring
It's
gila.
very heartwarming story Syah, benda ni.
Is I don't know the depths of it bro, but it's like is the crazy things also macam pasal you know, especially when it comes to orang per se gifted like them, things that maybe they can see or cannot see,
Okay.
or the things they experience, bro, is crazy. Kau imagine aku ingat now, aku was at my sister's house, aku tengok movie pasal this autistic kid running away from the home,
Yeah.
and then he found a best friend.
Okay.
So aku tengok tu, aku tergerak cakap, Kak, besok I want to go visit him . So I told only my superintendent, I say, sir, ni aku dah tak kerja sana, sir, aku nak aku nak visit dia. Cakap, okay, no problem, datang. The morning itself, bila aku dah berniat nak visit, dia call aku to resident, suruh nurse call aku, video call aku, and then cakap, tapi memang aku dah berniat nak datang.
Okay.
So aku bawa dia keluar, aku bawa dia pergi shopping mall.
Kira
apa dia
macam-
nak beli makan.
Macam home leave.
Home
macam
leave
live
lah.
gitu.
Home leave. Aku bawa dia makan all that. Then I remember I was at Long John with him. Habis kalau aku keluar nanti orang semua tengok siapa dia ni. It's always the stairs lah. But to me aku pergi mampus lah. Pergi mampus. So aku pegang tangan dia, aku jalan pergi Long John. This is something very prominent that happened. Dia duduk depan aku, and he always have this habit, bro. Dia gini tau. Bila orang tak nampak, and especially caregivers that have taken care of him even before my service, macam dari time 2000, he will always do this. Kalau dia tahu orang tak nampak dia, dia buat gini tau. Dia bisik kiri dulu, dan dia bisik kanan.
Okay.
Kalau dia ingat orang tak nampak. So at that time kat Long John, he did the same damn thing.
Okay.
So aku cakap, then aku dah tak boleh tahan. Aku cakap, siapa saya dia berbual? Siapa? Aku buat gini kat dia. Who? Siapa? Then dia buat lagi kat aku. But this time he said this. Nanti abang solat. Nanti abang solat.
Okay.
Nanti abang solat. Dia cakap 3 kali. Bro, aku lari saya pergi masjid. Aku takut, like I don't know what he's talking to his right, he's talking to his left. Then he keep reminding, nanti abang solat. Dia cakap gini.
Wow.
So it's all these things, you know.
Yalah, dorang kadang special kita tak
Special,
tahu.
we don't know. We don't know what they have, you know. So,
Betul.
but that is something that I hold close to my heart, that I'm so proud. So bila aku nyanyi Penjaga Hati, bro, dekat basking, this is a story that I will share. I will share that. I will start off with saying to the foreigners that if you realize there are no, you know, homeless individuals aren't as much in Singapore. And I was in one of the institutes, and I will always dedicate Penjaga Hati to him, pasal he is my guardian angel. Always.
Oh,
To
baik
him
lah.
To him
Baik gila Syah. Nanti kita of
Kita
course
continue lah.
kita continue. Kita nak tengok kalau kau boleh tunjuk kita gambar dia ke apa.
InsyaAllah.
Baik aku suka Syah ni.
Tough, we'll see. But pasal dia PDPA lah.
Oh yeah,
okay,
it's true
okay,
lah.
yeah,
It's true. Okay, tak apa. Aku happy gila episod ni. Episod ni dah nak 1 hour pun. Tapi baik lah.
Tak apa, kita boleh continue.
Kita boleh
lagi lepas
continue.
ni.
Kita akan
The sad stories is this the bare minimum. I haven't go to the mak-mak, bro. When the mak-mak tell you in front of your eyes, the things that I will share with you is things that will tersentak. If I share with you a story of how you can see a blind woman crying, is another whole lot.
Okay,
Next.
bawa ke next episode. And also kita since Haris ada kat sini, and pasal dia basker, korang jangan ke mana-mana. Pasal next episode kita nak keluarkan dia gitar pula.
Betul.
Jadi kita layan sekejap lah. Okay, Haris okay? Kau tak ada rushing ke apa?
No.
Okay, can. So guys, kalau korang dah nampak video yang aku surprise wife aku tu, then after that one of the videographer pun kirakan dia pernah shoot juga untuk tentang gitar, kira members juga. So kalau korang nak any wedding videography dengan photography services, korang boleh lungsuri laman socials mereka di tentang gitar_co ataupun call mereka di 87676719 87676719
tentang aku,
tentang dia,
tentang kita.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sayang, kenapa?